Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. I am going to do a yesterday, today, and tomorrow reading. Subject of the reading today is going to be former President Barack Obama. I'm curious to do a reading on him, on what the challenges he faced yesterday, the challenges he's facing at the moment, and the challenges he'll face tomorrow, and then kind of the spiritual overtone of all these challenges and what he's supposed to learn from these. So let's bring you on down. Move my computer back here, and let's see what we got. Barack Obama, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So center underneath it is the burden that he bears, the hard work that he has to do. The star card in the yesterday. Okay. The current situation. Oops, that right. These cards, I don't do reversals, and this deck is it's a squirrely little deck as far as that goes. These cards go flying all over the place. Oops, here we go. And then the overarching energy. Are these things on here? Yeah, just barely. All right. Underneath it all is the wedding card. The coming up with plans, the opening day, putting your plans into action. So center under the yesterday, today, and tomorrow, it's the struggle, it's the burden, it's the hard work that he has to do. And underneath it is the Four of Wands, the acceptance. I think in this lifetime, Barack Obama, his mission, or one of the things he's looking to learn or looking to do, is bringing in that acceptance of, in this case, you could think of it with race relations in the U.S. First black president, breaking barriers. And not only in the U.S., but you think of how the world received Barack Obama with open arms and enthusiasm. They really wanted this man to succeed as the president of the United States. I mean, he won a Nobel Peace Prize his first year in office. He hadn't really done anything, but it was that expectation that was being set. He was being welcomed. So his job is to try and normalize race relations, normalize minorities being in positions of power, and making it safe, if you were, for white people who are just scared of retribution for slavery and other things in this country, to just relax that we're not going to be punished, or we shouldn't be punished for the actions of our ancestors. But we need to acknowledge it. We need to own it, and we need to make it right. Okay? Just it. So in the past, we have the star card. He was a star in the Democratic Party. I remember at the time, even before he ran for the 2008 nomination, I want to say it was back in 2006, he was being touted as a real up-and-coming force in the Democratic Party. And they expected him to run for president. I don't think they were expecting him to run in 2008 because he had only been a senator for a couple of years at that point. But they absolutely knew that this man was a star, and he had a bright future ahead of him. Central to that is the Ace of Swords. He had the right idea. He had the power, the sword of truth, the sword of justice, and he was going to go forward with that truth. This is also him being elected president. First black president. It was the, uniting minorities to come out to vote. And I believe that, what was the phrase? Yes, we did it. Yes, we can. It empowered minorities to realize they have power if they just exercise it, if they don't feel like they're left out in the cold, if they go out and actually do something, they have power. And he brought that power to the minorities in the United States, which now the GOP is really trying to undermine with voter suppression acts and all sorts of things like that. But it showed to the world that there was power. You're not powerless. You just have to organize and go out and do what you need to do. Current situation is we have the 10 of coins. I think this isn't so much, part of it is him taking a step back and enjoying the fruits of his labors, as it were. He's been, during the Trump administration, he was not a vocal antagonist towards Donald Trump. He followed the norms, but I think he was taking a step back. He was enjoying his life, his kids, and seeing where life was taking him. He was looking at life in a different way. He's no longer the president. He's just citizen Obama, and coming up with new ideas and new messaging going forward, but maybe not fully satisfied with everything that's going on. He may not have been satisfied, but he always tried to come up with a positive message for the current situation that we're facing. And if you think about it, we haven't really heard a whole lot from the former president with regards to Donald Trump and the corruption that we're seeing. And I really do hope that he starts becoming a much more vocal advocate for the U.S. and normality in politics again. What's he going to face in the future? Because it's going to be karma. It's going to be a new path for him, a new truth. And that truth is about things being stolen or taken away. And that we still have to work hard and integrate. So I was talking about Republicans, the GOP with voter suppression. This is also taking away people's rights that we had before. Women's reproductive rights, the rights of the LGBTQ community and such. He is going to take the mantle and really lead a charge to point out the thievery that's going on and to push back against it. He's going to lead groups to fight back to do the hard work to fight this thievery and to integrate all these different groups into society. He did, again, his hard work of getting minorities into the government and, getting America okay with the idea that we, at least for some of us, that we could have a black president. Now he's going to expand the circle. It's not just being black or being brown. It's going to be your sexual orientation, your gender. He's going to want to bring in the whole tribe. And he will help with that work, and he will get that whole tribe integrated into society. The spiritual lesson to be learned on all of this is that planning. It's that looking beyond the next step, and taking things to the next level, reaching out with relationships, and trying to make peace, keeping your emotions in check. Speaking logically as opposed to, it's being passionate without causing fear, and then constantly working and driving things ahead. So how does that spirituality, that overall spirituality fit in? So when he was senator, he was already starting to look at maybe a presidential run. And how does he reach out to the American people to normalize a black man to be running for the president of the United States? He reached out to folks. Even when he was president, he was always looking for the next thing. He was looking for normality and a better United States, a united United States, always with a message of positivity, trying to keep anger and fear in check, but keep progressing his agenda to make America better. How is it doing with his current situation? He's evaluating what his next steps are going to be. Even while he's enjoying his Father's Day, enjoying his family, he's getting ready to take that next step for full inclusion. And when he goes to the full inclusion, he's going to be looking on how does he bring that full inclusion in? How does he get people to accept, get the population to accept minority groups or groups of people that are being marginalized, and not making it a fear-based response, but appealing to people's empathy and understanding that these are humans too, these are citizens too, and they need to be valued for who they are. We're not all the same, and we can't all be the same, and that's fine. It's a spectrum. And then going forward with it, doing the hard work, bringing people in, and moving forward with inclusion. It's really hard work, especially given the times right now. But he was the right man at the right time. You think about when he was president. I mean, what did we have? We had 2 wars going on. The economy was in ruins. We are in the worst recession ever, if not on the verge of a depression. And here comes this guy thrown into this mix. And by the time he was done in his 8 years, the economy had recovered. People were working again. The hostilities had wound down. We weren't out of all the countries yet, but hostilities had wound down at that point. The country was moving forward, and we were prosperous. He was just the right person at the right time. I know a lot of members of the GOP, they loathe the Obamas and the Obama administration. No scandals. Nobody arrested for felonies. He is not under indictment for anything. He was just a very intelligent man with a unifying agenda. And he was just absolutely ostracized by the GOP. I think they really understood and feared what this man could do if he unified people. They wouldn't be able to divide us into smaller groups and then, suppress the vote so that they could maintain power. He was the biggest threat to the Republicans' minority rule. And in 2016, they managed to gain power one last time and really tried to push this country to the brink. And we are a couple steps away from the brink, and we remain a couple steps away from the brink. We really need a democratically controlled Congress and House and presidency, and Supreme Court to get voting rights agendas back on there, to try and undo gerrymandering so that our elections are now representative of the population of the United States and what the population wants. So we're not oppressing people's votes, and we're not putting gerrymandering so that minority extremist candidates, or I should say candidates of the minority party who are extremist in nature, still wield power. If we can undo those, what has to happen at that point is the conservatives, the people that don't like change or want to slow down change, they have to get more mainstream. Right now, with all the gerrymandering and voter suppression and shenanigans, it encouraged them to be more extreme, which is why we have the Marjorie Taylor Greenes, Matt Getzes, Lauren Boeberts, Jim Jordans, and Kevin McCarthy's of this world. They're awful, and they're safe enough that they don't have to appeal to the average person. Okay, so that's my reading on President Obama yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I wish him the best of luck and look forward to seeing how he goes about trying to integrate all marginalized groups and unifying them so that they are a force to be treated with love and respect that they deserve. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.